So we're going to talk about hormones for a second. Our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health are all governed by hormones. We have stress hormones and we have sex hormones. And ideally, these hormones are all in balance for us to feel balanced. But when there's an imbalance, which is so common, then you feel the imbalance in those physical, mental, and emotional feelings. So when we talk about stress hormones, we're talking about cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. When we talk about sex hormones, we're talking about estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and DHEA. Both of them govern their own sets of symptoms, and depending on your age, whether you're male or female, perimenopausal, suffering from PMS, postmenopausal, these hormonal levels may be different, causing different symptoms. So for instance, let's take a perimenopausal or a menopausal woman. Her estrogen and progesterone and testosterone and DHEA are all declining as she's aging. And because of that decline of hormones, she's experiencing certain symptoms. So for instance, the lack of estrogen or the decline of estrogen in a menopausal woman is what's producing her hot flashes, her night sweats, and her vaginal dryness. The lack of progesterone or the declining progesterone is what's responsible for her insomnia, her inability to sleep, potentially more anxiety or more mood imbalances, water retention, or feeling puffy or bloated. Her lack of testosterone is what's responsible for her lack of muscle mass. So she may feel that she's wasting or her muscle mass isn't as strong as it used to be, or her lack of libido, and just her general lack of energy or well-being. And then lastly, DHEA is a precursor to testosterone and her adrenals, so the decline of that is also causing just general fatigue. Cortisol, or her stress hormones, that's a completely different set of symptoms and issues with adrenal fatigue, but it's just important to know that they're both hormones and they need to be in balance. Some females suffering from PMS, it's not the decline of estrogen because we're not there yet in terms of our aging process. It's usually that there's an imbalance between estrogen and progesterone. So most women suffering from PMS symptoms of moodiness, irritability, tender breasts, water retention, acne breakouts, that's all because she's suffering from low progesterone in relation to her estrogen. So a lot of us have excess estrogen. We're very estrogen dominant in our society that we live in. We're exposed to a lot of estrogens through our food, our meat, our products, and that already is putting our estrogen completely out of balance with our progesterone. So as a result, our estrogen is high and subsequently our progesterone is low. That disconnect is what's causing a lot of those PMS symptoms for women. So what we do to treat it is in a PMS female, we'll test her hormones, whether it be from saliva, urine, or blood, and then we'll likely find ways to bring down her estrogen and bring up her progesterone so that they're back in balance. And then with a menopausal female, we will get her on some estrogen, get her on some progesterone, potentially some testosterone and DHEA, so that everything is in balance and therefore she's feeling more balanced. Men can suffer from low testosterone as well. We deal with that all the time with andropause or male menopause, where their testosterone and DHEA levels are low and we need to supplement. So what you need to remember, or the takeaway when we talk about hormones, is that each hormone is responsible for a separate set of symptoms and all your hormones need to be in balance. So when one is out of balance, you're gonna feel that imbalance, and that's usually why people are coming in to see us. They know hormonally something isn't right. They're angry, they're irritable, they're tired, they don't have a libido, they're breaking out, they're retaining water. Like there's just so much going on from a hormonal standpoint that it's then up to us to test your hormones and treat your hormones. And then once we treat that, hopefully you'll feel like everything is back in balance.